Hey there guys, and welcome back to Finding Your Casual Magic. So as you can see, it's a bit of a different episode. It's kind of more casual vibes. I am currently in my purple palace, aka my house, and I've got this gorgeous human Leonie with me, and we kind of didn't expect to do a podcast episode. Like, this wasn't initially on the cards, but the way that I met Leo is we've been following each other on Instagram for 2 years?
Yeah.
You've been following me, I guess, a while. You know a lot about my life.
Your content like years back, and then I feel like I texted you, you texted me, and it was like a year ago, and we're like, damn, like, why haven't we met yet?
Yeah, exactly. And basically, long story short, I invited Leo to come and stay in my house for the weekend, even though we never met before. So we met 2 days ago, but we have just bonded so much in these 2 days. Literally within the first 10 seconds of getting to know this girl, she was telling me all the details of her sex life. we spent an hour on the train just like divulging all the secrets, and since then it has only continued to be a joy. And so I think that you guys have so much to learn from this gorgeous human. Leo is only 22, but she has traveled the world. She lives such a unique life. So ever since, were you 18 when you first started traveling? Yeah, ever since she was 18, she kind of started solo traveling the world, and she makes a lot of content as a solo female traveler, learning about different cultures, but also kind of the most rogue, unique travel experiences you can imagine. Like, we're talking being in rural Papua New Guinea, right? Hiking across Mongolia and Kyrgyzstan, and meeting people along the way. And she just has so many stories to tell. But also what I really admire about her is I think she is such a radiant source of self-love. Like, you radiate self-love, genuinely. And it's evident in the way that she'll do these like gorgeous, artful nude photography shoots in the middle of nature, where her body just looks like a raw part of the nature around her. It's evident in the way that she'll wake up and just like put music on and dance. Like, she just fills a room with so much life and energy. And also, she advocates for like not wearing makeup, and also feeling confident to like not have alcohol in social settings. And she's just so herself, so like grounded in herself. So I'm really excited to dig into the journey that's made her that way. And here's some tea. If you've never been to this podcast before, we like to discuss all the things that can make everyday life beautiful. So rather than just waiting for big achievements like graduating university or waiting for the birthday or the wedding, like, how can we learn to find joy in every single day of life? And one of the ways we do that is living as authentically as possible to ourselves. And so that's something I really want to focus on with Leonie today. And I love to start every single episode by inviting all of you guys listening and you to meditate with me for 60 seconds.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to lead us all through a meditation. And for any of you listening who are commuting or you're cycling or whatever, feel free to just become present with where you are. You don't need to close your eyes. So if you feel able to, gently close your eyes. Start to become aware of the feeling of breathing. What does your chest feel like when you breathe in and when you breathe out? Can you notice, does your breathing feel deeper today or more shallow? Does it feel easy to take in air? How can you accept wherever your body is today? And I want you to suddenly bring your attention to your heart space, wherever you picture your heart to be. And as you breathe in air, I want you to imagine this heart space expanding. With every breath of air, imagine your heart growing. All this love and warm energy just abundant within you. Imagine this love flowing through every single cell of your body. And maybe invite a little smile to your mouth. When you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. Welcome to the episode! Hello!
Mm.
Okay, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you from?
I was born and raised in Vienna, Austria.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I lived here all of my life till I was 18.
And did you know your whole life that you would become this traveling queen? Like, how did you decide to kind of not do the traditional path of going to university? Because you were very academic, right? You told me that you were interested in becoming a surgeon, a medical surgeon. How did you make this choice to instead take this path and go travel?
I knew definitely I was going to go travel, like when I was really young. When I was 12, I wanted to go abroad. And when I was 14, I did go abroad. When I was 15, I was studying for a year abroad. I started solo traveling when I was 17 during the summers between school. And then I was like, whoa, definitely gap year is going to be my thing. And then the reason why I decided against going to university, medicine was just kind of like the lifestyle and like environment I was gonna be in a lot, not the academical part,
Like
but
the surgical environment.
yeah, just like I felt like it's gonna like depress my soul a bit. And then the creative side, why I decided not going to college is because I realized it's not necessary to make a career with anything that's creative, like by going to college. You can do that just by building your portfolio and making connections. And I was kind of like already in love with traveling at the time, so I didn't want to be bound to one place anymore. And then I was like, okay.
What was your first trip? I actually don't know. What was your first solo travel?
Proper one.
Yeah.
When I was 18, I flew to Costa Rica.
Wow.
On a one-way. And then I did Costa Rica. I went down to Mexico, Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia for about 4 months.
Wow. You just went for 4 months. That was your first solo trip. How was that?
It was crazy. Like after 1 month of being in Costa Rica, I was in the plane again to Mexico, and I remember I had to Google the year because I had to fill out some immigration form, and I forgot which year I lived in.
Well, because you were just so present.
I'm so serious.
Like you didn't know what day it was.
Yeah, I was barely using my phone at the time. I was not doing social media. I was just vibing. Wow. I wasn't doing any photography there, just a little bit. And I was just like, whoa, new experiences hit me over and over again every day. And I was like, what's life? Whoa, what am I feeling and experiencing right now? It's intense. Now it's much more stable. I definitely had highs and lows and feeling lonely and happy. But I forgot the year I lived in. So I was like, whoa, being on an airport.
I think there's something so refreshing and beautiful about being able to forget time. Because I think especially in the West, we're so obsessed with time. Productivity, knowing exactly what day of the week it is and how you can reach your goals and maximize time in all these ways. And so to be living so rooted in where you are that you could forget the year, I think is kind of cool. Chaotic, but cool.
I had no itinerary schedule whatsoever. I just woke up and saw where the day took me.
I had similar feelings in that I knew I wanted to explore the world. I knew I wanted to travel, and I took a gap year after secondary school, and I was also very academic and always saw myself following this traditional path. And so for me, taking the gap year was stepping outside of this predetermined path that felt set for me. And I think even though I really wanted it and I felt this really strong intuition that it was important for me, it was still, I had to face my parents being worried about me going at 18. I had to face my worst fears around what could happen. I vividly remember I got out a notebook and I was like, Jade, can you write down the worst case scenario that could happen to you on a travel? And almost if you can face that in your bedroom right now, the idea of that happening, then maybe it'll be fine. And I remember writing oh my god,
gosh, horrible.
something sexual assault vibes and all my stuff being stolen and being on a train and like not knowing how to deal with that. But I think if you can write down the very, very, very worst case scenario, like, then you can realize it's probably not going to be as bad as that. Like, the chances of that happening are so low, and then you sort of trust yourself to like go and try anyway.
Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't think of the worst case scenarios at the time. But so you also just left?
Yeah, kind of. So I won an Interrail pass from the EU the last year we were part of the EU. I know. And so then I got the capacity to travel for free, like the trains around Europe for a month. And that was so life-changing because it was like my first time solo traveling.
It is life-changing.
Yeah. What are some of the ways that you have most been changed by solo travel?
I think solo travel taught me on like a next level stage to trust. And at this point get like excited and embrace the unknown, because when you get to that point where you don't know, like that's where the real magic I feel like happens, when you are like, whoa, it can be anything. I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to go next. Like, don't like, just let's like sit on it for a little bit, and then you will feel like the right things kind of coming into your life so divinely and easeful. And you learn that these things that are suddenly coming into your life, rather than you jumping onto something, are so much more aligned. So like the path you'll walk feels almost like heavenly. Like it feels like you're like making love with the universe. And that's like been something that's felt so divine. Like whether it was like I did not know where to sleep, I did not know what to do. I was like truly stuck in situations, and just like I felt like my angels were just like sending me the right signs and always guiding me. I would also say something that's so valuable is learning how to connect with strangers, because
that's so
my
true.
God, we're like stuck in like a society that's scared of everyone around us. We have this fear that everyone's a bad human. And first of all, that's not true at all. Second of all, like you miss out on your highest potential of growth by extracting yourself from experiences with strangers, by having new conversations and seeing new perspectives, by staying sheltered in where you are and where you feel comfortable. You're gonna limit yourself on every single end. So go talk to strangers more, I'd say.
Have you always been good at talking to strangers? Before travel?
Like growing up in Austria and like having my routine life there, like being in high school, I definitely was not the person to just randomly walk up to strangers like I would do now. I would ask strangers for help, but it would just something that doesn't happen a lot. Also, you don't really rely on any help when you're at home usually, so you're more reluctant to ask anyone. You feel like you're disturbing their peace.
Yeah.
So when I went traveling, I just started like living with a bunch of strangers along the way. I started hitchhiking, and it's
in
like
Austria?
in travel.
Yeah.
So I learned this like openness that I received. I learned to like love it and reciprocate it, and to make that like an energy that I want to like have and spread.
Okay, how do you find this balance between being really open to the serendipity of meeting strangers and safety and taking care of yourself and ensuring that you don't end up in situations, especially as a female solo traveler, that are too dangerous?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it is that, first of all, I don't force anything. Like, I enjoy spending time by myself, and I don't need anyone around me. So when I'm like at a beach and there's just no one around me that I feel like compelled to talk to, I just don't. And then second of all, it's like trusting your intuition. Like, you can read a person within the first 3 seconds of meeting them. People don't hide who they are, and bad people don't usually hide their bad intentions. It's just a matter of
It's like
how
an energy
much
thing.
it's just a matter of how much you're willing to see it and react on it in time. But then usually people are like, oh, but I can't just say no now, or like da-da-da-da. Yes, you can. Like, I stop cars, I talk to them for like not even a minute, and I say, oh, sorry, I don't want to go anymore. And I mean, they just drive away. You know, what else are they supposed to do? But I'm like, oh no, I'm not getting in this car once I see who it is, or like talk to them. You can catch a vibe. So I'm like, once you start doing it, it's like a skill you can learn. Like it's a practice thing. It's something that everyone can do, but you need to like learn how to listen to your stomach and your throat again and not your brain all the time.
Okay, I find this so interesting what you said, because I think I have a really strong intuition about people. I feel like I can read people quite well. But I think the thing that I struggle with is exactly what you said, where I almost feel like I'm a bit of a people pleaser, and I struggle to act on what I know about the energy that I've witnessed, right? So let's say I was to hitchhike, I was to get in a car with someone, and they seemed okay when I talked to them. Maybe I was like a bit on the fence, but I was like, they seem fine. And then we're in the car and like I feel something, some like an energy shift, or I feel something that I don't like. I would feel really awkward to be like, you've now helped me, but I'm gonna get out. You know, I think, how do you develop that I don't know, strengthen yourself to just truly not care what people think in those situations, to not need to be polite? I think maybe it's a British thing as well, feeling like you've offered me help, I need to be polite.
I feel like, one, you don't have to be like, also maybe if it's like a really sketchy person, you don't want to be extremely rude, so you can even say something like, I don't know, make up like a little story, or like say, oh, actually, never mind, like I changed my mind. It doesn't need to like make entirely sense in the moment, but you can find like some sort of excuse that helps you navigate the situation better. And then secondly, I think what helps a lot is like, so in moments you feel like you're not entirely strong with like whatever your heart, like yourself, you can like go within yourself just wherever you are, like at home. And you can think about these moments and like that feeling of discomfort that comes up in you maybe. And you can tell yourself, oh, but whatever, I would be like, Leo, I promise yourself, like I promise me that if I'm in that moment and I feel this feeling, you're going to be strong enough about making that decision no matter what feelings are going to come up, and even though they're going to be uncomfortable. And I do this in like so many scenarios of my life where I like go within and I'm like, I know I'm going to do this, I'm going to probably be scared, or I'm going to feel like this discomfort, but it's okay, like I already know you can do it, so in this moment, you just let the discomfort pass, and then I manage to like go through that moment much easier, because it feels like I've made my decision pre that moment, and my heart space is already prepared. Like I'm not struggling to make the decision anymore, because I'm like, it's already been made, like weeks ago. And then it's easily integrated. The more you practice it, the more that's like natural to you later on as well.
Wow. Wait, so would you describe that as kind of a process of visualization?
Yeah, and like talking to myself and like thinking about the feeling, but being like, hey, like, okay, I know you're gonna feel this way, but you need to listen to yourself, like, you know, like, because then afterwards you would feel maybe like, oh, why didn't I not listen to myself, or why did I not act sooner, and I was a bit uncomfortable. Like, not even giving yourself that moment of like doubt, just like knowing, hey, like, I already know, like, next time I'm gonna get it, you know.
And is this something that feels like it becomes easier the more you do it? Like, does it feel like a muscle you train?
Yeah, like, especially with like certain situations that will repeat themselves. If you do them like 2-3 times, you do them correctly, it's almost like already gonna be integrated, and it's gonna feel automatic, like it's gonna feel easeful, because you've already had the experience, and you probably realized nothing's gonna happen except that you're gonna get out and like be happier.
Can you maybe tell us an example of a time that you've been traveling where you did feel uncomfortable, or you felt unsafe, or like kind of paint the picture for us of how you handled that?
I mean, there was many situations, and it took like a while for me to realize like what it is and how to deal with it. I did a lot of couch surfing, and I still do it, but now I'm just so much more better at finding like a line and outsourcing the right people, so I usually have very blissful experiences.
Can you tell anyone who doesn't know what couch surfing is?
Yeah, couch surfing is basically a platform. You have to pay a subscription, like $15, euros, something like that a year. And basically everyone has like a profile with pictures, the countries they've been to, and you can send requests for days to stay with someone. And it's a worldwide thing. It was really big before COVID happened. And now a lot of people say the platform has changed a lot, or people are there with like not honest intentions sometimes. I still think you can find like valuable people on there, or like you can make valuable connections from couch surfing, but it is something where you have to be extra good at reading the vibes, because it's online and you're putting yourself in a situation. Sometimes I drive at 10 p.m. in a new country in Mexico to stay with a random man. You know what I mean? Like, I totally did that stuff. And you have to be like really good at doing that to stay safe, and even better at being in that moment then, and then knowing you can leave again.
Yes.
So that's like the key thing, not only getting there, but then even in the moment allowing yourself to change your mind anytime. Yeah, so I did couch surfing a lot, for example, and there was totally times where I should have left, like as soon as I got there, or when I like felt negative energy, bad intentions come towards me. But I didn't, because I thought I had this like scarcity mindset of like a budget traveler that I still see in a lot of young people. Oh, I have like a $10 budget per day. If I'm now leaving, it's late, there is a chance that I might have to pay for accommodation, which is maybe gonna be $35 a day. And that's gonna totally like destroy my budgeting goals. So I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna try to like stay. And that's such a bad mindset to have. Like, I was in the position where I could have left. You know, I was not on zero money. I could have just left and gotten a place. I could have literally walked out and asked someone else. But I didn't, because I was in this like crazy mindset of like making myself dependent on them. And that's when you remove yourself of like any choice and freedom, and you stay in situations where you shouldn't be staying. So to really work through that and be strong in listening to my intuition in those situations, that was something I had to like learn and overcome. And now, since I stopped doing that, I mean, I don't even have those situations anymore. Like, within the first moment, I can't think in the past year where I've walked into a house and felt I needed to leave. Like, this past year has been like easeful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How do you think you can develop a stronger relationship with your intuition? Like, say anyone listening is like, but I don't know how to read vibes.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to get into a house, I don't know what to be looking for. Like, what does it mean for your intuition to tell you things?
Yeah, people ask me this all the time, and it's so simple. You can do it whether you're traveling or not, and it starts by deciding in the grocery store which item to pick. And instead of like making like a crazy decision out of it, just learning how to make decisions not thinking of them. Like, so within like, you go in front of something, and I know you can think for a long time, but instead just grabbing like the first thing that speaks to you. Or like, you're like, oh, I want to pick a color for something when you get dressed. Like, just don't think, just open your closet and be like the first thing that feels called to you that day. Like, kind of like doing it in little tasks. Or you want to start to paint, which color like do you feel like you want to grab now when you look at the palette, and just take it. Like, it's the intuition is like the first thing that comes before any thought. So then when you start thinking for 1 second, you're like, oh, but I wanted to paint the sunrise, then you're probably gonna pick like orange, but you originally wanted to pick blue. So like, you're already like overriding your intuition in that moment that you change your decision. Yeah.
How do you distinguish between intuition and like bias, or like your brain being primed for certain things? Or say like the shop example, like how you're influenced by like branding of things, or you know, placement of things. Like, if something's placed on your eye level, you're more likely to take it than the thing placed down there, even though you want that thing down there more.
I mean,
like choice architecture.
Yeah, I get what you mean. With the grocery store example, I mean, what you can maybe do is like, when you feel yourself walking towards the thing that you originally always take, and you're like, well, it's just because I'm so used to taking that, maybe taking like 3 steps back and like looking at the whole thing, and just like being like really like looking at every single thing in the aisle, and then being like, okay, so which one do I want right now? Which one did I actually like? And then just like doing that. Sometimes you can feel like triggers come up, or like uncomfortable emotions, then you notice maybe it's something related to like how you were conditioned. But usually I feel like intuition is like the thing that you can't explain, but you simply know. So like, you can also practice it by when people ask you to go somewhere, to do something, to go out, to like when you have this fear of FOMO. Like, a lot of people have FOMO, but you already know you don't want to, but then you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it anyways. Like, just learn to not do things that you don't want to do, and get strong within knowing what's best for you. So I think that's helped me. I don't have FOMO at all. And I had it maybe slightly bit more, definitely, when I started traveling, in the sense of that I was like, oh, but I need to see everything, and I'm going to miss out on seeing everything. And then that like burns you out. So instead of doing that, I was just like, I'm never going to see everything. And which experience would I rather have now? Like, stay with my friend that I'm already with, and like, I'm enjoying this conversation so much. Like, it's so valuable for me. but we had this like dance we were supposed to go to, and like if I really don't feel like the dance is like there today, like it's not like relevant anymore, rather than forcing to leave this nice space that I'm already in and going to the dance, just allowing myself to be like, well, dance was planned, but like this is so nice, maybe we're gonna go for a swim because we're talking at the beach, just like being easeful and changing plans and changing your mind, I think helps a lot.
Yeah, and I guess those are like good micro things people can practice in their day-to-day life, even if they're not traveling.
Yeah, all the time. Like if people ask you to like do this, like allow yourself to like not plan too much ahead, but like feel a little bit more into your day and into yourself. We tend to have this like crazy schedule and the things we have to accomplish, and yes, there's always things we're gonna have to do, but allow yourself to be like not making maybe like a plan, the craziest plan, like a month ahead if it doesn't have to be, and be like cultivating maybe like a little bit of like an okayness with your friends to be waking up and maybe feeling terrible because you're on your period and saying, hey, I really feel not great today. Maybe we can change plans and just like cozy up at home, or maybe we can meet like tomorrow, and cultivate like as well relationships where you're allowed to actually feel and decide based on how you feel.
That. Okay, so a lot of people will look at your life on social media and think, this girl lives the dream life. Her life is perfect. She goes where she wants. She's a rich bitch. Because anyone who travels is instantly a privileged bitch. Which, to be fair, yes, passport privilege and money and stuff, of course, is some level of privilege. Is your life perfect? Do you think traveling endlessly is a perfect lifestyle that we should all try and attain?
No. People tend to glamorize and only see the good things, whether it's the past of their own life or like relationships or experiences or other people's lives. And telling you, from me and from a ton of social media people I've met, they all have shit going on in their life and they have the same issues or whatever it is as any other human. And just because you do something that's like, traveling is very like catchy, like everyone easily dreams of doing traveling, but realistically also traveling for years, either you're gonna, I think where the key point is here, like rather like find your purpose, and then these people maybe is what they actually like aspire to have. When they look at some people online, it's like you can feel, okay, they have like, they do something that they're really passionate about, but it's not meaning that their life is perfect, like you are doing what you love on a grand scheme, but we're always also constantly in going through shifts and transformation, and we are also just as much now finding ourselves in spaces of feeling lost, or having, friendship issues in our lives, like going through phases with our like mental health. It's there just as much as it's for anyone else.
And so it's more about learning to feel content in the life that you are living, or do you think that people should still, dream about kind of these other ways that they could be doing life?
No, I think they should just ask themselves which is like the best life that I could be living and that I want to live. And then maybe when you're 18, that'll express itself very differently, or you're just seeking something. I think both of us had this crazy urge to travel. A lot of people will feel this urge for valid reasons because it puts you in such a state of like, expansion and getting to know yourself. So traveling is rather just like the medium that helps you grow so much. So it's more like, I feel like that's what people are truly seeking, or they're seeking new connections with people that feel more aligned. It's a lot of these things. So I'd say totally listen to what you're seeking, and sometimes things are not explainable. Sometimes we just know we have to move somewhere, or we have to do something, we have to go study abroad. We don't know exactly why, but we know it's like really serving us. And then through doing that, we are probably hopefully gonna find more answers to what's like core of our purpose, and like what's like close and important to our heart, and what we really want to share with the world.
I love that. Would you say that there are any trade-offs in your love life of traveling constantly, or do you think that it's actually been a more expansive experience through getting to travel all the time?
Honestly, think I've had so much expansion in my ideas and thoughts and ideologies of what love has to look like, what relationships can look like. I've sat across thousands of people and asked them what love means to them. And I've talked with elderlies, I've talked with young people, I've talked with children, and just really, thought about my own philosophies of love and how I want to live and play with love in my life. And I find that I have been making the most like soulful connections in the past 4 years, and that's been something that's been super super precious to me. And also keeping connections that I had before this life and expanding those still, like keeping my friends there. And friendship is just like just people in my life. Like I feel like I have relationships with all of my close friends. So keeping like these people in my life and present. And
you have like the most crazy like soul sister friendships ever.
True.
Like, what does friendship mean to you?
Friendship. I mean, there's also many different types of friendships, I would say. And I think there's friendships who are supposed to show you something. Like, there's like, not every friendship has to be that like forever in life friendship. I think the biggest thing I've learned is to just not only be present in my time and through my travels, but also be present with the people I'm around me, and just accept temporarity with everything in life, because our life is only temporary. There's one vocabulary that I'm missing. Not temporary, but like
temporality.
No, like
impermanence.
Yeah, just like, so we're gonna die one day, so even
mortality.
Our life, even our life is ending eventually. And instead of like locking in on like, I need to be invincible now, or I need to live forever, you're gonna be much more happy. Or I need to live, like, you're already living in your head when you're 80, like rather focus on what's now. We don't know what's ahead. So the same, I think, with friendships or connections. If you don't force anything, or you stop like dreaming about the future or building something, in the process forgetting what you have right now and what's there, sometimes you lose like the most valuable lessons or experiences you get from it. Because not everyone I have like a connection with, they're also going to stay forever in my life eventually. But I've learned something super valuable from that person maybe, and that's given me so much.
I love that, and I think it's so opposite to the way that many of Gen Z are taught to think about relationships, in terms of like possession, or like this one person is mine for life and I need to secure that that this is a forever love, and I love that you can admit that things can be beautiful and meaningful even if they're temporary. And I think that's what travel teaches you too. You can have such depth of connection in a hostel when you're meeting someone and know that you'll probably never see them again, and like that's fine. But I'm also interested, because I know a bit about your life. And I'm not share everything about your life, but you I think a lot of people won't know that you are in a 4-year long distance relationship alongside travel, and like an exclusive monogamous relationship. And so for 4 years while you were traveling the world, you had to put the effort in to make this relationship and love last, right? Like, you're talking about like let things flow and stuff, but like you were also pouring love into this space, even though it was like difficult and in long distance.
Well, I think you can let things flow, but I think intention is super important. So even now with like any of my close friends or whatever, anyone that I love, I want to be super intentional with them, and I want to show up for their cool events, and I want to I want to visit their exhibitions, and I want to like, be part of their book release, and like I want to go to their housewarming parties. Like I want to be part of their life. So intention is about like effort, like and like where intention goes, energy flows, and I want to nurture those connections and friendships. So I want to make sure I show up to them at least to a certain degree, and whenever it's possible. So yes, of course, if you're like in a proper relationship, you have to put a lot of intentions and energy and effort in that.
That's kind of the point.
Exactly. You want to as well. It's something you want to nurture. So usually it flows effortlessly. Usually, I mean, when you travel, I mean, you obviously have to like make sure you see each other. For example, if it's like a long distance relationship, I'm not gonna
time zone differences,
run across them coincidentally, So before I started traveling, I got into a relationship and continued it during my travels, during all of my transformations and changes and shifts in life. And it was a wonderful, like, it taught me so much about love and about connection with someone, about trust, and like I learned so many things from it. So there's like absolute zero regrets. But I've also developed so many different perspectives on love during that time, and like connecting with people, and the way I am and the way I feel like nurtured by connection. And
Because
also,
you broke up quite recently, right?
yeah, so we just ended the relationship this year, and it was
It's
such
hard
a
to,
peaceful.
like, yeah.
I don't know. People always say it's hard.
But I think it's hard to finally like cut things.
I
Because
think
I think you
that-
can feel often like relationships are coming to an ending point, or you can feel that there's like a heart fade where your like perspectives are changing, or you're going your separate ways. But I think to decide to like actually do the thing that everyone knows needs to happen, but to do it takes a certain level of like maturity and self-understanding and bravery.
It definitely like took some time to like gripe within my system, I would say. And that's okay. And that's like maybe a time of confusion or a time of uncertainty, or you just have like a feeling, like a gut feeling. And that's again on like trusting your intuition, which sometimes just takes longer, and that's okay too, you know. And that's like a heartfelt, like just like that's a bigger decision, or it feels really, you know, new at the time. But yeah, people are always like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Like, it was the most easeful, like, uncoupling, like, with love and with gentleness and respect for each other. There was no hurt or no trust broken within the bond and the relationship that we had and still have. I mean, again, if you're friends, you also have some sort of relationship with your friends. Just, like, changing the level of we wanna maneuver from with each other. And once you realize that, I feel like that's already the easy part, because then it seems so in tune and just so aligned.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like, well, we're just not aligned anymore.
So
that's
I
so
free
much
you,
better.
you free me.
Yeah,
into
that's so much
whatever
better
you
than
need,
staying stuck. And then someone's gonna hurt the other, or you love the person, of course, like you fell in love with that person for a reason, but in the relationship maybe the dynamic is not ideal anymore, and then you just start like hating that person because they're maybe too much around you, or they don't see you the way you want to be seen and everything. There's just like, whoa, I like this person still, and I can have many different people in my life and many different friends. I don't want to have a relationship with all of them. And I love them much more from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's like maybe a romantic iteration isn't the best iteration of our love and our relationship,
entirely
right?
that.
And you can still have love. You can still want the best for them. You can still even have them in your life.
Entirely.
But just not in this romantic partnered dynamic.
Yeah, so it's just like realizing that you're not losing something, but you're actually gaining the love that you initially both fell in love with. And you're gaining the ability again to express that love, probably in a more easeful way, because expectations change and like all of this sort of stuff changes. Both people are just going to end up happier, I think.
Okay, so since this breakup,
oh my gosh,
you are on, I think, a journey of reclamation around everything related to like who you want to be in your love life, like sexual reclamation. And I think it's interesting because I think a lot of people on the internet will have a perception of you because you post, you know, naked photos of yourself in the forest. People have this perception that, you know, you're this like, you've always been this sexually liberal, free human, which in many ways you are. But obviously having been in this like long distance monogamous dynamic for so long, I feel like you are on such like an exciting cusp of like everything that is in front of you. And we talked a lot in the last few days about queerness and like, you know, how love can take so many different forms. And I've been on such a long journey to unpacking internalized homophobia and getting to a point where like I can be with women and like it's amazing and free. And I don't know, I feel really excited for you. I feel like you're like in this exciting new era.
Definitely just different being 18 or being 22 and having like found, I think, the core pieces of yourself and being able to step into the world as that entirely. So I think that's like the most exciting part, is like showing up as genuinely who I am and starting connections from that perspective and that level. Feels just so much more like attuned to who I am.
How did you learn to have so much love for yourself. I feel like you, like, being around you is just like being around this abundant source of joy, because it's just so evident. Like, you love your body, you love who you are, you love your quirks, you love your personality. At least I understand we all have doubts, we all have bad days and stuff, but I think in general you just seem really secure in who you are.
That was not always like this.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty shy growing up, and I was like not
Little
like
baby Leo.
the crazy popular girl in school, and like I got bullied for things, whatever or not. So it was like not always like, and realizing, whoa, actually, who am I, like, outside of what I look like? Like, who am I, and what do I want to be, and how do I make people feel, and how do I show up for people? Observing how I see people myself told me a lot about how I view myself.
That's so true.
So, like, also realizing, actually, maybe I think, like, I'm a lot more, like, gentle. Like, I used to be a lot more gentle with other people. Like, I used to be like, whoa, you look amazing. I mean, because they did. Like, their smile was radiant. And, like, they were just glowing with confidence. Yet they were so kind and, you know, like, such a girl's girl. I think a lot of people have this perception sometimes that, like, not even me, but like really beautiful women, like, let's say the beauty standard woman who's also really confident and like takes really good care of herself, that she has to be mean. But like, I mean, all of the women in my life genuinely are like the most beautiful goddess looking women, and realizing, well, like, they're like the most, you know, they can, like, well, why did I ever have this perception, even myself when I was younger? Oh, they're probably gonna be mean, or they're probably gonna judge me. It just shows me that I would rather, like, you know, I'm judging myself for certain things, and like I think, oh, you can't be that and you can be that. Like, just shows me about, so really just like observe your thoughts and like rewire them. I definitely danced in the mirror a lot when I was younger, and just I felt so awkward dancing in public, so I made it an exercise to every evening. When I brush my teeth, I still do it, dance. But back then it was really like a practice of like self-love and like getting comfortable with myself.
In your body, and like, you just release so much through your hips, right? It's like dancing, you're just like shaking off
entirely
like, energy that you don't need.
And just also focusing rather more on feeling life than like seeing it always. Like, this is like going swimming naked, like it's really just about the feeling. No, you feel the ocean on your skin, and like you feel the sand, and everyone's around you in like a safe space. It feels so normal and exciting still to do it, but it really teaches you, oh, like, I'm just like having like the best time out here ever.
Okay, I would love to talk more about your relationship to nudity, because I think this is something that a lot of people online will like think of you for, which is crazy that it's like such a thing to post yourself naked, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, people have so many opinions from like religious perspectives or conservative perspectives. You know, people will be quoting the Bible in your comments, being like, oh, but you should, you know, your body's a sacred vessel and you should be treating it that way.
Body's a temple.
Body's a temple. Oh, and in reality, beneath the clothes, we are all naked.
Exactly.
And, you know, throughout human history, perception of which body parts you could show or not show has constantly changed, because it's often defined by society and culture. And I just love the way that you so freely reclaim your body, and how you like don't care what people think, and you're just like, you know, you kind of have this gorgeous like self-loving relationship to the art that is the body you're in. I would love to hear more about if that's always been the case, and kind of what nudity means to you and what nude photography means to you.
Okay, so I remember the first time that I went skinny dipping was 4 years ago. I was 18, just started my solo trip in Costa Rica that I told you earlier about. And it was like the end of like a short spiritual festival. It was like 3 days long, sunset, there was a beach. And I did not have my swimsuit with me. And there was another girl who did not have her swimsuit with her. She was older than me, like 10 years older. And in that sense also much more secure in who she was and her body, comparison to me, who just came fresh from Austria. People say Austria is like a liberated country when it comes to nudity. Yes, we go to sauna naked, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's like we go swim in a lake naked, or we do that with our family maybe that much. Like, it's not really like what I would say a very nudity open country. So it was like, well, either I go not for a swim now and everyone is going like in this beautiful stunning beach, or I go like naked. So she was like, she's like, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then I sat there for just like another minute, and I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like, and she looked at me and she was like, Leo, I know you want to go right now, so why are you thinking of not going? And I was like, well, my brother was there as well. He's also like 10 years older than me. I was like, well, my brother's there. I mean, he's very open. Like, he's one of my best friends. He's super open. He like couldn't care less, you know. He's like, human body is human body, like whatever. Even though we have not like cultivated that specific relationship like that ever before, but I was like, okay, like I know he's done this stuff in his life surely before. And she was like, well, he's not gonna care, like, you know that. And I was like, not actually worried about him. I was like, well, there's like, 50 other people, it's still like bright outside, like it just feels like uncomfortable. And she was like, okay, like you can do this, like be brave. So it's just like, I dropped all of my clothes, and you had to walk to the beach for like 100 meters to like rocks. So it's not like you run into the water. It's like you have to like crumble on rocks and like look really awkward. So it was like going through that. I just did it. And then we were in the water with all the other people, and everyone's like, damn, like, why did I not go naked? Like, I'm so jealous of you guys right now. Like, oh, I love that you guys just went naked. It was like, again, a very like hippie, open place. So no one would have really cared there anyways. And it was so nice, like, be in the ocean waves for sunset. So that was the first experience, but I pushed myself again and again and again in the future, and eventually got to a point where I felt secure enough to almost, like, inspire other people around me and, like, take the energy, like, like, give them the energy to do it as well. And that's just, I mean, again, if you do something, this is how you like rewire your brain, and your brain eventually becomes like, this is normal, or I feel now super comfortable in this. And to me, being nude and like naked, it's just like the, and especially in nature, like it feels like you are actually your most authentic self. It feels like you're unconditional love, you're the kindest version of yourself, you feel connected to everything that's around you. And I feel like because we have such a disconnect in the world to other people and to everything, like everything we live in is the cause of a lot of chaos. And also, if I now feel not that great on some days, it is an act of self-love for me to do the things I would do anyways on a day where I really love myself. Because probably I'm just seeing the tiny differences anyways. Like, the people around me are probably not going to notice everything that I notice. And also, if I already feel bad, like, I should even more do the things that make me feel good. And that sometimes means, like, yes, getting yourself out of that shell. But it's like, I need to do this because that's how I show up for myself, like, if you feel down, like, push yourself to go on a walk, like, you will feel better. And doing that in those moments is like such a strong act of like nurturing your self-love to yourself.
I love that. It's gorgeous. I think on the similar note of self-love, you are able to withstand so much hate online. Like, this girl, I don't know how she does it. Sometimes she'll post things and she's like, yeah, I know that this is going to be really controversial. I know this is going to get so much hate, but like, let it come. And I don't relate to that at all because I care way too much what people think about me. And I just admire it. I admire that you are able to post these gorgeous, radiant photos of you frolicking naked in the woods. And you know that it's going to irk people. And yet you lean into that because it's your authenticity. And so you're allowing those negative comments to come. How did you learn to truly not care what these people think? How do you withstand the hate?
On a side note, I had like a small 30k social media Instagram. I was like 13 to 15, and I got so much hate for it from the peers, like from my school people. Wow. And that was like really rough for me at the time. And
bullying is like a boot camp.
Yeah, I still kept doing it though. Like, I kept vlogging. My friends sometimes tell me, I think you're the person who gets the most hate that I know online. Like, I think I just trigger people a lot. And the way to like deal with this hate for me is, first of all, I see all of their triggers. Like, it's very easy to like just look at them, and I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, well, you have like a whole like issue about self-love and your self-worth, and like how you're connected to yourself, like beneath the sentence that you just sent me. So I just like, oh, okay, they're like on their own journey. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I think we said to say today, I just don't take it personal, because I know nothing is personal. Like, actually, whatever someone tells you, it doesn't have anything to do with you. And once you realize it, it's just like, well, maybe
a reflection of their journey.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. And if I notice something becomes really harmful for me anyways in that moment, I like stop reading my comments, I stop reading that DM, I can block someone. So I allow myself to just like shut that energy down if I need like a stronger separation from it.
Leo, what is your final piece of advice to anyone listening who is maybe interested in traveling the world or wants to develop their intuition to live a more authentic life, whether that means, being more loving to their body, kind of like, what is your final word of advice?
My philosophy in life, and that like leads me to have all of these experiences in this life, is like, I experience myself like as a soul on this earth, and I have this body to maneuver it and to control and to run and walk and whatever, go like my little avatar, but I'm just here to make experiences and like learn as much as I can, and I am supposed to inquire, I'm supposed to be curious, and I'm supposed to learn and follow that thing that I'm seeking out. And like sometimes we're too focused on like little tiny goals and we lose like the big picture of everything. Ask yourself what's really important to you, and if you are living life accordingly to that, and if not, what stops you from not, like, why are you not living a life that makes you happy? And is it really more worth it than taking a risk, which always we think it's such a big risk? Again, like, the more aligned you're, like, the more you're stepping into your purpose, the more you'll notice that there is not that risk that you are thinking of. Like, genuinely, it's like things are playing out just better for you. You're struggling more if you are being avoidant about the things you're supposed to be doing.
Love that. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Okay, final ritual. What was a moment of casual magic for you this week? So what was like a little moment that was really beautiful that you'd like to tell us about?
I already know it. It's literally when we met.
Like,
it's no jokes. We met in the middle of London at a station.
Like Oxford Circus, Oxford Street.
It was like busy, it was rainy, it was the evening after like a long day of just probably both running around. And we just met, and it was like a hug. It was a hug again. It was like jumping on the street, like little ball, like woo 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 woo. Everyone's looking at us. And we got on the tram, and yeah, like she said, literally, I mean, we just went right in. Like there was nothing. Like we didn't talk about our day. We didn't talk about where we came from.
I don't know how we launched in, but we launched.
I don't know. It was before we even got on
the tube. Yeah.
Oh my god. Like literally we launched right into like the most like funny, vulnerable, deep, like authentic conversation ever. It felt like we have been just seeing each other again, and even when we met, it felt like I'm seeing her again. It's been just like a really long time. And that's just like what I think, like those. So I talk a lot about soul connections, but they're still very rare and very valuable to me. Like I have like a lot of friends, a lot of people I know everywhere, but then there's like a really, really close circle now of like the people that you really, really, really know. That's just like that feeling when you meet someone, you're like, wow, like they just, you're telling them the things, of course, like the experiences and stuff, but like they already know you for like so much more than that. Like you could not talk and they almost know 100%. You.
It feels like nothing I could say you would judge.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can just bare back open, and that's so rare, and that's coming from someone who's meeting like thousands of people every month. I don't know. So I was just like hit by that. I was like, whoa, like I think I almost cried. I was like, whoa, this is like so emotional right now. Like thanks God for like our energies, you know, us really like feeling into that and knowing we have to meet, we should do this, you know, because otherwise like we probably wouldn't have met, and we would have like missed out on like something there is definitely like ahead for us in life. We don't know what, but we're definitely supposed to do something.
I agree. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear what kind of resonated with you from today's episode, and if you're inspired to change anything up in your life. Can you suggest, Leo, 2 journal prompts for people to like reflect on after today's episode?
One journal prompt that's really nice is like, especially when you're going through like a development stage, is like well, first of all, you should manifest more. So write down like your manifestations and actually visualize them and feel them a lot. Why are you not doing this like at least weekly? You should be doing this every day. Manifest more, and I swear you're gonna sit unstill eventually. Like you're gonna be restless on your goals, because you're gonna be like, why am I like, I need like, it's
why
already
am I stalling?
there. Like it's almost there. Like come here. And then second of all, I think go deeper with like write down triggers you have. That's like a good way if you really want to change things in your life. Anytime you get triggered, it doesn't matter if it's by your mom, it doesn't matter if it's by your friend, it could be by yourself. God knows what. Write them down.
Oh, I love that
and
one.
Don't let them pass, but go really deep, and that can sometimes take hours of sitting and thinking. But please give yourself time, like more time to just sit on your thoughts. I think it's great that Jade is promoting so much meditation and being in silence, because we don't give ourselves enough time to think and process.
So true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leo. That's so wise. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening.
We love you.
Say? We love you. If no one has told you today, please remember that you are enough.
Oh, okay. She's so magical.
Stay tuned and stay magical.
Bye.